Hi everyone, I'm Mohamed Rifad from Sysco LABS. I work as a senior quality engineering lead, and today I'm going to present you guys about JMeter API and how you can use your automation code for the performance testing. I'm going to give an introduction and architecture about this and how this has been done and a live demo. So before at the end of this session, you'll be able to use your web automation on API automation code for your performance testing. So before you start the project, you can go here, download the project from here, and follow the setups things with me. This is the overview. So you have a simple automation code with yourself using Java, and the same code you will be able to use for functional testing and the performance testing at the same time. Let's go to the architecture. This is how it has been done. You will have the automation code in place, and we have integrated the Jmeter API with the automation code, and the Jmeter API will be communicate with the server and do all the request and get the response and attach the response for our report. So you can configure your own report or Grafana report, any report that you required. So let's go to the demo. So in the live demo, so what I will be doing is I'll be automating a simple scenario using Java and REST assured, then integrated the Jmeter API with the code and run the performance script using the same Java code. So to start with, let me take you to the sample API that I am going to automate. This is the API that I'm going to automate. So you can use the APIs that whatever you want. So simply if I send a request using this one, so I'll get a response like this. So this API request, you don't need any authorization, so the header content is enough. So now I'm going to automate this using the REST assured before starting the automation. So I have placed few codes already there, so I'll show in the code simply one by one. So this is a Maven project. Simply you can go here and file new project. So select project. From here you can select Maven project. So then it will generate a project template like that. So I have placed few codes inside this. So let's go to the code that to the automation for this endpoint. This is a simple code. This is the API host. The host is this one, and the get request, and it should return this response. So let me go through this code first. So you can see I have created two util files. One is request util, the other is response util. The use of a request util is actually to send the request to the server and get the response. So here I have used simply a REST assured. So to use REST assured, you have to add the REST assured as a dependency in your project. Simply you can copy paste this code and add REST assured as a dependency. Then you are good to use all the REST assured related method. So here we have the send method. So it will send the request. It will identify whether it's a get request or post request. Based on that, it will return the response. After returning the response, I will use the response util in order to modify or in order to get the values in the response. So these methods I already created. I'm going to use this method. Then this is in your main package, main Java package. Then I'm going to move to the test Java. So here I'll go here. So and request util, I'll send the request and get the response, and after that I'm verifying the response status is true. It means it is returning the success. If it is success, it will return the true. Simply that's the test case, and you have to have test ng in place. In order to have test ng in place, you have to add the test ng dependency in your POM XML file. After that, simply let's to run this test case, you can right click and run the test. So this will send, and see the status code is 200, it means it's success. So this is the simple test. Now simply you have automated this one. Now you really need to do the performance scripting for this, or performance engineering for this. So how do you, let's say, how do you do this? Simply you will go and identify a performance engineering tool, something like Jmeter or load runner or whatever tool that you prefer. Then you started scripting there again. Then let's say you have multiples of tests and you need to have multiple configuration that done in the in your required performance engineering tool. So but what I'm going to here describe is how to use this existing code in order to do the performance testing. So let's see how we can achieve this in a simple way. So before that I need to set up the set up few things to start with. So I need to start, configure the performance environment or the performance related configuration, performance related tools configuration in the same code. So to do that, so I have to add few dependencies and use them. So what I'm going to use here is the Jmeter API. We are going to simply call the Jmeter API and do the test. So let's go to the POM XML file. You need to add this dependency and plugins related to the Jmeter and Jmeter related plugins. These three is like the basic dependencies that you need to add it to your project. After that you need to add the Jmeter.properties file. So this Jmeter.properties file should be in your project's home directory. So this contains all the configuration related to the Jmeter, and save.properties file, it is related to your reporting. If you need to have the reporting after the test execution, this is will be really helpful to save this properties. So where you can get these files, simply so you can go to the Jmeter installation location, and if you list here you can identify the properties. You can identify the save.properties file and Jmeter properties file. You can simply copy paste these files directly to your project. Now we are good. We have added these dependencies, and we have added this Jmeter properties file and save.properties file. So let's go and integrate this thing with your existing automation code. So before starting with that, you need to create a class that will call the Jmeter related API methods and your test class. So let me show that class for you all first. So you have to have a method code something like this. So Java sampler test. So what I'll explain in the later part, so how this has been done. So this is a Java sampler test. So here simply you have to extend abstract Java sampler client, so then it will generate you the template for you. You can use the methods here. So sample run test method, required method. So here you can simply call your test. This is the your test file that you already automated. So login test, and this is the method basic request. So you have to place it this way. This is the success, and if there's any errors in this response, it will go to this and end the sampler and attach the report with this code. So, and if there's any assertion failures, it will attach the report, something like that. This is the main class that you're going to use in your sampler. So let's go to the direct Jmeter API test class file. So this is how do you look like. So simply what is happening here is I'll explain you with the Java code. So here I'll open the JMeter file and show you, what I have done here. So I'll open my JMeter. So what I have done is I have added a thread group. In the thread group I have added the samples. So this is how a JMeter simple request should have the thread group and the sampler and the listener. So here I have added in my test I have added this sampler called this one, Java sampler. So this is used to code the Java related stuff. So Java request, and after that you have to add a listener. So you can add logic controls, a lot of things are there. So I'm not going to teach you the basics of JMeter here. So I'm going to teach you how I have integrated my test with this JMeter API. So these are the simple things. So you have the thread group, you have the request, and you have the results. So the same thing that I'm going to do is with my code. Let me go to the code. So simply you can see, let me drag this side. So here I'm setting up things for start my JMeter using the JMeter API. So I'm initially checking whether my jmeter.properties file, this jmeter.properties file and save properties file is there, and then I will go and start the JMeter engine. So initiate the JMeter engine. This comes from JMeter API. So and setting up initializing the JMeter here, and I'm creating the sampler which I have explained. Thus this is the Java sampler, and in the Java sampler what I am doing is I am giving my Java sampler test, which is this is my test. This test simply call my automation test here. So I am giving this exact package name, this exact package name with the test name in the Java sampler. Here you can see, and so this is for a reporting. If you have Grafana report, so you can use this code in order to connect with your Grafana reporting. So this is a simply loop controller. So loop controller is like something new logic controller. So here you will have this loop controller, transaction controller, any of the controllers that you can add. So, and the thread group, and how long, number of threads means how many users that you're going to run these tests. And if you want to have a constant throughput timer, you can have it. So concurrent thread group. So all the configuration that's coming from here, these everything, these anything related, you can add using the Jmeter API. And you will create the test plan. So this is your test plan, and you have to add this everything into a test plan. That's what I'm going to do here. So I'll create the test plan, and I'm adding a CD sampler, this timer. So what I have created to the test plan. So in the test plan, I'll create a test plan tree and add the test plan, and after that I'll add whatever I created, a timer, thread group, everything to this test plan. This is where I'm gonna have the reports. So this is a reporting part. It will generate your sample report, then you can view it locally. So it will generate a report in the report folder, JTL report, so you guys can view it. This is something like very related to this report, so it will generate the report there. So that's a simple thing. And you have to configure the test plan tree into the JMeter runner, and you have to run it. So this is how you run it locally. So let me run this first and show you guys. So this is a simple test. You can simply right click and run it. This is a Maven project. You can use Maven command in order to run it. If you are using Jenkins or anything, you can use the Maven command in order to run this. So you can simply run it. So it will start the test, and you can see the log. So this is sending the multiple requests simultaneously and getting the responses simultaneously, and it will generate a report inside this. So it will take around 1 minute to run this test. Yeah, so and it will generate so you're randomly sending this request and change, and it will generate the report. So what I have set up number of threads 5, and based on that it will generate a sample report for you guys, and it will run around 1 minute time. So I'm not going to wait till so this runs. So this will test has been completed, so this will generate a report here. So here you can see this report. So simply you can view this report using JMeter, this one, or you can use the JMeter to view this report. Simply you can have this summary report. It will generate a summary report, so you can view the result here like browse. So I have to go to the projects that I was working with, and then I have to open the relevant project here and the report file. So you can see so this is the request I sent, and with the throughput, response time, everything, it will generate the report. So you can view this sample report in the Grafana as well. So if I have configured the Grafana here, so it will send the report to Grafana. Also, I'm running this locally, so you can run the same script in a remote machine. So you have to disable this code, so distribute runner. So let's say you have set up one JMeter master and you have set up slaves and everything. You can have the host added here, so host IP address, and you can distribute the execution as well. So also I have created the wrapper class with everything. So simply I have created JMeter Helper file. So this contains all method that required uh, for your test, like create test plan, everything is wrapped up here. So you can, so this is a lengthy test, so you can see it has around 193 lines of codes. You can simplify this test to 28 lines by adding a JMeter helper wrapper. So simply this will do the same thing that I have shown. So you can right click and run this test, so it will generate the same report. So what's the advantage of this? What's the advantage of this mechanism? Let's say you have a lot of test here. So let's go to a test. Like here you will have a lot of endpoints, lot of test here. So you can simply go here and call the test. Just change this. That's the only change that you need in order to identify the performance of a record endpoint. So you change your test and run it, change it here and run it simply, without less configuration, lesser rework. You can have it, you can run the test. Apart from that, the main advantage is you'll have the same, in the same repo you have the performance code and the test automation code. The similar approach, this can be used for the web automation as well. So we have tested these in some real project. So we have created same test in the JMeter and same test from here, and we have verified the response times and everything. So looks everything's very similar. So you can simply use this in your real projects without any hassles. Thank you for listening to the presentation. I hope you all enjoy the presentation. So if you have any questions, queries, you can reach me out via my LinkedIn or my email. I'm happy to help you guys. Thank you.